Hello everyone and welcome into Coach Craig Sports. This is the NBA DFS Core Pick video for Tuesday, January 14th. If you're joining me for the very first time, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, this is how today's video will be structured. We'll be going over my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel. In the morning, I'll be listing an injury report for all 7 games, all 14 teams. There are no teams on the back-to-back, so we'll have those injuries out right away in the morning. And then I will be posting injury updates down in the comment section throughout the day. As many starting lineups as I can get to throughout the evening, and an updated core about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock or as those changes do become available. So definitely on the lookout for all that, but without further ado, we'll get into it with the DraftKings side. We're going to start off at the point guard position. Right now, I do currently have Spencer Dinwiddie here. I must mention that Kyrie Irving has a chance of playing in this game. He's technically this is questionable. Been dealing with a pretty decent back injury, so we'll see whether or not he ultimately ends up playing in this game. If he plays and Spencer Dinwiddie does not start, obviously we want to swap up to somebody else at this spot. But if Kyrie Irving is out once again, which I still kind of do expect, Spencer Dinwiddie looks like a pretty interesting play, $6,400. Looking for 32 out of him. And he's been up over that mark for the most part as of late, especially when he's been in that starting lineup, getting pretty significant minutes, only averaging 20 fantasy points per game on the season. Obviously, early on in the season, wasn't playing too much, wasn't getting a lot of minutes, so that does reflect that in that fantasy points per game. And obviously, he's a guy that's not going to draw a ton of minutes, especially when Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are both healthy, which is not the case at this point in time. So with all that being said, currently I have Spencer Dinwiddie projected about 33, 34 fantasy points. Could have a little bit of upside for more if he's shooting the ball well. Could have a little bit downside for less at the same time as well. And then once again, we're just going to watch that Kyrie Irving news. If Kyrie Irving's able to go, we're going to have Spencer Dinwiddie swap over to a different point guard. Hopefully some value opens up throughout the day at the same time as well. Then we're going to move down to shooting guard with Shaedon Sharpe, playing pretty well as of late, $6,100. Looking for 30, 31 out of him. He's currently averaging 29.5 fantasy points per game. Goes against the Brooklyn Nets. Not the greatest matchup in the world, but not a bad matchup whatsoever either, since the Nets are a pretty banged up, pretty subpar team at this point in time. So do like the upside of Shaedon Sharpe. Currently I'm projected for 31, 32. Could have some pretty strong upside for more. Has a little bit of downside for less at the same time as well. Then at small forward, we're going to go with Paul George, who's been playing really well as of late. $8,000. Looking for 40 out of him, averaging just under 36 so far on the season. Obviously, he has dealt with a few injuries to start off the season. Obviously, a little bit more limited minutes, but playing bigger minutes as of late has shown that upside in the most recent games for him. So definitely do like him once again. Currently, I'm projected for 45, 46, but could have a little bit of upside for more at the same time as well. Then we move down to power forward with Keegan Murray, who has had that depressed price tag as of late, $5,100. Looking for 25, 26 out, averaging 27 so far on the season. Currently, I'm projected for about 28 going against the Milwaukee Bucks. Should be a pretty interesting spot, especially if he's knocking down that 3-ball and staying out of foul trouble. Could be a really good game for him overall. Definitely do like that upside. Patrick Williams would be another name to consider here as well as kind of one of those cheaper price tag power forwards for tonight's slate, and with all the injuries that the Chicago Bulls have as well. And then last but not least, at the center position, we're going to go down to Donovan Clingan. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name, of the Portland Trailblazers. He has $4,100, looking for 20, 21 out of him. And currently he's averaging 18 fantasy points per game. Dealt with a couple injuries this year. Obviously, most of the time DeAndre Ayton is starting over him. Sounds like DeAndre Ayton is going to be out once again, so he should draw the start. See pretty decent minutes. Interesting matchup for Nick Claxton, but he does have some pretty good upside at $4,100. Currently, I'm projected for about 25. Could have some upside for more. Maybe a little bit of downside for less if he doesn't quite get as many minutes as we do expect with no DeAndre Ayton, but at this point in time, looks like one of the better value plays to start off the day. But with that being said, if you go with the 5 players that I do currently have listed here, you have $20,300 remaining, just under $6,800 remaining per player. So looking a little bit more like a balance build type of day, at least early on. We'll see if any other values do open up throughout the day. There's currently not a ton as we do start the day, but hopefully that is something that changes and gives us a couple different options at the same time as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my core picks over there as well. So on the FanDuel side, at the point guard position, we're going to go with DeJounte Murray of the New Orleans Pelicans. Going against the Chicago Bulls should be a pretty good pace spot just in general. Playing pretty well as of late, $8,300. We're looking for 41, 42 out of him. Averaging just under 41 so far in the season. Currently, I'm projected for 43. Has a little bit of upside for more, especially if he's able to score the ball pretty well. Get a couple steals here and there, which is something that he has been known to do from time to time. A little bit of upside to be had there. Point guard position overall, not the greatest for me today, but I do definitely like the upside that DeJounte Murray could have in this game overall. Then we're going to move down to shooting guard with Spencer Dinwiddie. Pretty much the same story as DraftKings. If Kyrie Irving plays, don't want to play Spencer Dinwiddie. And if Kyrie Irving misses, then Spencer Dinwiddie is very live, as he should be in the starting lineup, playing pretty well as of late in that starting role. $6,600, looking for 33 out of him. Exactly what I do have him projected for if Kyrie Irving is to miss in this game. Interesting matchup versus the Denver Nuggets. Probably not the best one for him, but if the game remains competitive, he's going to be a very interesting player, and probably a pretty big reason why. Only averaging 20 fantasy points per game on the season, but like I mentioned on FanDuel, wasn't playing a ton to start off the year, and then obviously when both Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are healthy, not a lot of minutes at that guard spot to go around just in general. Then we move down to small forward with Paul George. Once again, $8,100, so $100 more expensive on the FanDuel side, but he's really starting to come alive as of late, playing bigger minutes, playing better. It's a tougher matchup versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, but if this game remains competitive, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George is going to be a big reason why for the 76ers team. And at $8,100, we're looking for 40, 41 out of him. Currently, I'm projected for 44, 45. Could have some upside for more if this game's kind of going back and forth, if he's scoring the ball well, if he's contributing in a few different categories, which is something he's been doing in recent games, then definitely has that strong upside at a pretty reasonable price tag. And then we have power forward. We're going with the pay down option, Patrick Williams. $4,600, looking for 23 out of him, averaging 21 so far on the season. You know, there is a lot of minutes to go around for the Chicago Bulls team at this point in time. Ayu Dosunmu's still out. Kobe White is technically listed as questionable. He missed their most recent game. We'll see whether or not he plays or not. But just minutes to go around in general. Patrick Williams, not the greatest player, not the greatest fantasy player, but at $4,600, only looking for that 23. Currently, I'm projected for 24. Looks like a decent value option to start off the day at the very least. And then last but not least, we're going down in the center position with Isaiah Hartenstein, $7,600, looking for 38 out of him, averaging 37 so far in the season. Goes against the Philadelphia 76ers, the only guy that you have to run out at center pretty much now at this point in time is Yabusele. So I think Hartenstein's really going to dominate that matchup. Currently, I'm projected for 40, 41. Has some pretty strong upside for more. Maybe a little bit of downside for less, but he is a pretty consistent player and a guy that's going to give us a decent floor, especially in terms of fantasy points. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do currently have listed here, you have $24,800 remaining, $6,200 remaining per player. So looking a little bit more like a balance build type of day once again. We'll see if any other value opens up as the day moves along, potentially allowing us to pay down at a couple spots, paying up at a couple other spots. Otherwise, mainly looking like a balance build type of day. Going to make for a pretty interesting 7-game slate though. But with that being said, that's what I do have in terms of my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to drop them down in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Once again, the injury report will be listed in the morning, injury updates throughout the day, and update a core about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock, and then as many starting lineups as I can get to throughout the evening down in that comment section as well. So just make sure that you are checking up there, especially as we do get closer to lock. But with that being said, if you are brand new to my channel, checking out for the very first time, or have yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now, we just really have NBA DFS going on in terms of the core pick videos, but in the coming weeks, plan to do some NFL draft content, and then obviously UFL DFS is right around the corner at the same time as well, so definitely on the lookout for that. And then last but not least, if you're interested in sports betting, if you're interested in prop betting whatsoever, be sure to check out the links and promo codes down in the description below for BetUS, Parlay Play, and Prize Picks if you're a brand new user on any one of those 3 sites. When you sign up, make your initial deposit, you will get a first match deposit bonus. For Prize Picks and Parlay Play, it's 100% match up to $100. And then for BetUS, it's 125% match up to $2,000. So some pretty great opportunities to be had out there. If you have any other additional questions related to those whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me, whether it's down in the comment section of this video or on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, and I would be more than happy to help you with that journey. But with that being said, that's all that I truly have for today's video. Definitely do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Definitely means a lot to me. I hope that each and every one of you have a great rest of your day and some pretty good luck in NBA DFS for Tuesday, January 14th.